Hey, sleepyhead, it's Joey Salvia, and welcome to OpieRadio.
All right, I find myself deep in the woods of New Jersey once again. I'll be honest with you, I'm close to the creepy cabin, but Carl gave up on the creepy cabin. He moved on. He's got to start that restaurant in Manhattan, La Cubana. He's very close to it being open, and he's working his butt off. And when he's not living in Queens, he's up here in the woods close to the Telemark, hanging out and chilling out. And he told me to meet me at this house, which I'm in front of now. And it's beautiful out, man. You can hear the sounds of nature. I got to ask him about that house that looks like it burnt down across the street. But we're walking up to the house Carl told me to meet him at. And we're going to do another fine OpieRadio podcast. So it's very quiet up here. It's very chill. It's very zen-like. I like that. All right, let's do this. Joey, it's time once again for the OpieRadio podcast. Ba 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 ba. Ah, my rhythm's off.
You think?
Yo, Carl! Where are you, Carl? No one's answering. I'm just going to walk in. Yo, Carl! I heard a burp. I hear a sigh. I hear a burp. I hear a sigh. Oh, boy.
Hey!
What's up, Carl?
What's up, brother?
Carl Ruiz, everybody.
Welcome to brunch.
I see that. I like this, man. You're like a city guy, and now on your day off, you're back where it feels comfortable, close to the Telemark, in the middle of the woods, close to the creepy cabin. But this is not the creepy cabin.
It's nice little spot I got going on here, right?
I like this, man.
It's nice, right? Hope you got lights.
Know what I like about this place?
What?
It has lights. You don't have to...
Outlets.
Outlets is important.
Right?
A giant fridge.
A real fridge.
That's what I've seen so far. An actual living room with a couch and a TV on the wall.
I got a Snoopy snow cone machine.
Is that what that is?
Yep.
Oh, we gotta rock some snow cones.
We'll make them with bourbon and really good.
Yeah, I see you got the bourbon opened up.
I got a nice Weller Antique 107 for us for the day.
Damn it, that's some good stuff.
This is unbelievable bourbon.
Yeah.
It's the original weeded bourbon. It's what Pappy Van Winkle should be and should cost.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But Pappy's good. You turned me on to the
Pappy's
Pappy.
delicious. Pappy's delicious. But I'm a Weller guy.
Yeah.
I like Weller.
Okay.
And one thing about bourbons, you want to hear something as I drink it. Do you know a lot of bourbons are fake?
What do you mean?
So if you walk through the liquor store and you see Kentucky bourbons, right?
Yeah.
The bourbons have to be in Kentucky, right? Wrong. There's over 350 brands of bourbon now in the golden age of bourbon making now. Do you know how many actual distilleries there are in Kentucky?
I would have.
If you think 350 different bourbons, how many distilleries do you think exist?
I'm gonna go low.
Go ahead.
10.
That's too low.
That's
14.
Well, that's pretty close.
That's close. Good call.
Thank you, bro.
Your pessimism really comes in handy with these loaded questions. I'm like, how many distilleries are there? Cancer.
Well, the setup was obvious. I wasn't gonna say 300.
Cheers.
Cheers. A little bourbon action. First thing in the morning. We're recording this at like 10 in the morning. So yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Can I at least put it in coffee?
Go ahead.
Very nice. That's very nice. That goes down pretty smoothly.
So there's a company, I think it's called MDP.
Yeah.
And most bourbons that people love are like, oh my God, bro, you're drinking Angel's Envy.
What does that mean?
Is this some stupid bourbon, Angel's Envy or whatever? Whatever they say,
Yeah.
the odds of those people actually even distilling something are
Yeah.
close to zero.
Oh, really?
There's a giant conglomerate, and I think it's called MDP, and they make all this bourbon in Indiana.
Not Kentucky.
No. And they ship it in.
Yeah.
And they blend it. They put it in a bottle. They put a label, and they charge you $100.
There you go.
Ain't that something? So Weller it comes from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. So if you read the back of this, it says, made in Kentucky, which is distilled in Kentucky. Because sometimes it'll just say bottled in Kentucky. But this is all made in Kentucky, but it's made by Buffalo Trace. Guess what else Buffalo Trace makes? Pappy Van Winkle.
So is this one of those situations where the bourbon is very similar, but they're slapping just different labels on it?
Absolutely.
It is, right?
Absolutely. It's a lot of bullshit. And you know who they learned it from? The winemakers. Because there's nothing more bullshitty and pretentious than winemakers.
Now, my grandma, who would have been 109 if she was alive.
Is this the one that had that Cancer Beach house next to the...
Yes. She'd be 109. So you would like this because you're...
Is that the one where your uncle peed all over you? Peed on top of you?
No, his big hog went over our shoulder.
Yes!
Because they only had one bathroom. and it was completely acceptable that it wasn't, gay or...
Mike somewhere. Mike right now, his radar went up. You got his full attention.
Or predatorial. It's just what you did with the big family at a beach house with one bathroom and an uncle that liked his beer. So he had to pee a lot. Move over, and all of a sudden you see this monster come over your shoulder.
Oh, my God.
That's a true story. So she'd be 109, but a little known fact, way back in the day, she worked at a canning factory. And she was the first one that told me it was all BS, that they would stop the line and they would change out the labels for the same exact product.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
My wife gets mad to this day when I go store brand. There's a lot of things you can go store brand. You're not going to notice the difference.
Well, as a chef, I learned how to read the back of things, right? So you read the label, and it'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
Because remember, by law, they have to put the main ingredient first, the active ingredient, and it has to be in parentheses the active ingredient. And second of all, by volume, they put the ingredients. So just turn it around.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised. It's the exact same shit.
The exact same shit.
Marketing is a giant part of the way America does business.
Hell yeah. So your place is awesome. I like that you don't have to duck when you're walking around it.
Normal ceilings.
Or this place. You actually don't live here.
No. I come here when I don't work.
But it has your vibe to it.
All my shit's all over the place.
Because if I explain just some of the stuff
go
around,
ahead.
I would go, this has to be Carl's place. That's the famous bell.
That's the drinking bell.
All right. But yeah, it's a little more homey, but you come up here when you're not working on that restaurant in the city.
I just have to decompress. The city is just...
You got to get away, right?
Oh, I think I'm just too old. It's a young man's game, man. You know what I mean? It's just... The people that live in the city now really suck balls, dude.
Right.
I mean, just... Everyone's miserable, Opie. I was on the subway. I had to go to a benefit at Pig Beach in Brooklyn. The pit master there, great guy, family, 2 beautiful kids, goes to work one day, starts slurring. They're like, oh, what, he must be drunk. You know what I mean? Died right there. Aneurysm.
Died?
Last year. So all the big barbecue guys.
Was it a stroke?
Aneurysm.
Aneurysm?
Yeah. Is that how you say it? Aneurysm?
It don't matter. Because when you get it, it doesn't really matter how you say it.
You're starting to sound like one of those old white guys at the bar.
Because
did he get cancer? The dirt don't care.
Right, exactly.
Dirt's dirt.
Because by the time you try to figure out how to say aneurysm correctly, you're fucking gonzo.
You're going, and then you're done.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man, it's a shame. But, Chris Lilly showed up from Alabama, Tank Jackson.
Sure.
Everybody showed up, and it was great. It was a great event. Barbecue Princess was there. Everybody.
Well, those were all the same.
And they all asked for you. Where's Opie? I'm like, he's in the Hamptons, you fuking hillbillies.
Well, I had to escape to the beach. Yeah, I had to escape.
You do the same thing I do.
Of course, because the city will drive me nuts.
I live exactly like you do now that I think about it, right? We have the same lifestyle, except give or take a couple 30 million.
Well, you're going to be back on top, Carl, right?
Define top.
You're going to be back on top. But
what do you mean? Like I have a phone?
See, this is what I've done for years. I hammer it out in the city.
Right.
And then as soon as I get the chance, I get the F out of the city. Whether it's for 2 days, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, I'm out of there. I can't stand it too. But I made the mistake. My kids got too old. They got their own crews now. They got their own friends. So I think I'm stuck.
You're going to be stuck in the city?
Well, I was thinking maybe I could still squeeze them out of the city, but everyone's like, oh, no, man. The cutoff was 6 years old. After 6, you just can't do that to your kids. They get their friends. They're not going to understand going somewhere brand new.
Can I tell you something?
Especially if you don't have to. A lot of families do have to relocate for jobs and stuff, and they have to put their kids through that. I don't have to, so I would feel very guilty if I did that.
Oh, see, I wouldn't care about what other people felt.
Your own kids?
I don't have kids.
No, but I'm just saying, wouldn't you feel guilty?
No, I have no guilt passing judgment on your family, is what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah, I get that.
I will rule with an iron fist. I'm like, well, he's got to go.
You're a bad man because my kids love you.
I love them too. You know I love
They
them.
love you on grocery games.
Just go
Like,
for the
hey,
joke.
that's Carl. That's Uncle Carl. They get all excited.
Oh my god!
And then if I'm on the phone with you, like, is that Carl? They gotta get crushy poo on you.
Crushy. Wait till they get older. I'm gonna teach them how to smoke ciggies.
There you go, Uncle Carl. Oh, Uncle Carl's teaching you some bad things. Come over here, kids.
Oh, you know though, when they get older, if anything ever bad happens, they're gonna call me.
Yeah, of course they are.
Like, Uncle Carl, listen, we're in
Right.
trouble.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long's she been dead? Is it warm? Is it not warm?
I don't even want to know.
I'll be there in a second. Go to CVS, get garbage bag.
But I do the same thing as you. I hammer it out and then I get out. And for you, you're up here in the middle of nowhere. I love it up here. You know, you're pretty close to the creepy cabin in this locale. Pretty close.
5 miles.
Within a bunch of miles. But what was I going to tell you? Oh, we gotta talk about the last episode of the OpieRadio podcast was a mess. Was a mess because I didn't have my pal Carl and I couldn't get Vic to step up.
You're always mad at Vic. And I love fucking Vic.
We all love Vic.
You know why I love Vic? Because, a lot of people say it.
Yeah.
A lot of people say things like, I say, like, I give 0 fucks, but it's a game. Right?
Yeah.
I care a lot, right?
Yeah.
Smoke bothering you?
No, I don't give a fuck.
Nice breakfast I got going on over
I
here.
see that. I got bourbon, coffee, and cigarettes in my face.
You want some of these pills?
What kind of pills you got, man? No, I'm not a
Dietary
guy.
fiber?
Oh,
Keeps you regular.
I thought it might be an edible or something.
No, I eat those. They're all gone, see?
Do you think it's bad, by the way? Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Strong. Do you think it's bad? So, the other day, and then we'll get back to the restaurant thing because I really want to get into that for a second.
let's do it.
But the other day, somebody stops me on the street. True story.
Okay.
And goes,
What did Roland have to say?
can I get a picture? And I'm like, oh, all right, I still got it, right? And then the guy looks and does a double take and goes, Are you Jimmy Buffett?
No!
That's bad, right?
He thought you were Jimmy Buffett?
Yes.
Jimmy Buffett's 100 years old.
Yes, that's right. That's bad, right?
Opie.
Time to shave the beard.
You shaving a bit? I think it looks
No,
good.
I have to shave the beard if
And your
people...
hair looks good. It looks windswept.
No, I mean, the guy thought it was Jimmy Buffett. That can't be good.
Well, at least...
Because he's a lot older than me.
But you know what? You have to look at it in it. There's ways that Cubans look at stuff. Like,
by the way, I said I was.
of course you did.
And we took the picture.
Of course you did.
He's going to be so mad.
When I get drunk at parties and people are like, aren't you the Food Network? I'm on Bobby Flay. I can't take it and eat all the corn chips.
Right.
But
I was all happy, like, oh, look, I still got it. Are you Opie? I used to listen to you back in the day, that NEW. Like, that horse shit I hear a million times. And the guy goes,
Bro, you were
are
fucking...
you Jimmy Buffett?
I mean, but you were famous as fuck.
Really famous.
You were really, really famous. And you know what? And you were that good type of famous, which was like, you had a little infamy tied around you.
Oh, yeah.
So people would tread lightly when they came up to you. Like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Like, when people know me, they start running their mouth about some apple cobbler. Fucking, oh my God, my grandmother. I'm like, fucking boo.
With me, it's like, oh my God, you're famous. Did you really give up on millions of dollars because you're an asshole?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, I saw
rock and roll.
Someone posted an old article about you. It was quintessential Opie.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, the nap one?
Oh my God, dude. I swear to God, Owen, I fell in love with you that one. And knowing you, that's exactly the tone and the delivery of the whole fucking thing.
We were getting...
Like, what are you doing? I took a nap.
Well, the press wanted us badly because I think that was homeless, the homeless Charlie thing.
Oh, look.
What? Ah, no. God, Nick Solaris drives me insane.
What's up, Nick?
Oh, here he is. Hi, Nick.
Can we do it Thursday?
Thursday, yeah, I'm here with Opie. Say what's up.
Hey.
What's up, Opie? Are we podcasting right now?
We're podcasting.
What a shock.
Why is it bad that I'm podcasting? You and Vic Henley can go fuck themselves. I'm in Carl's kitchen trying to get a podcast done. I'm like, you're gonna keep that thing on the whole time?
For this constantly videotaping it.
Yo, Thursday, Nick, it's on.
All right, listen. I need you to introduce me to the emails because I'm gonna. Where are we sending the beat to La Cubana or to SDK?
We're sending it to La Cubana.
Okay, so I need the address. I need that. I guess
I'm gonna put you in touch with Nico, and just tell him exactly what to do, and he does it. He works for me.
Okay, so all right, that's perfect.
I love you, brother.
I won't interrupt your.
I don't.
I won't interrupt your podcast any further.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, gee, thanks, Nick Solaris.
Cheerio.
Goodbye.
You love him.
Well, because he said it.
Oh my God.
Because when I was in the kitchen at La Cubana,
my boss. So the next day,
yeah,
I'm sitting having a cup of espresso,
yeah,
with my boss.
Yeah.
He goes, 10 years ago,
yeah,
that kid be in a duffel bag wearing a Marie shirt.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Marie shirt again. Oh, but I found the article you're talking about.
Opie, it's literally the funniest fucking thing. I want it so I can hang it up. Because it's a picture of you, Tiger Woods-esque, with your hands over your head, and it says, "Can I read it?"
Well, no, I'm going to read the whole thing for you. But,
please.
But the picture is we had the press like hounding us, and they found me in front of a window out. I think in the lobby of one of the buildings we worked at.
Right.
So I just had my hands up against the window, leaning forward like I was in prison or whatever, and that's the picture they used in this particular article. But it drove the press nuts. I played the press perfectly back in the day because the headline is Opie taking suspension hard? Question mark? Nah, he's taking a nap.
And you literally went and took a nap.
And that nap cost me probably $200,000. No joke.
You made it up though.
Well, I got suspended without pay. So it says, embattled shock jock Opie kept his big mouth shut yesterday. It's hard to read, sorry, so bear with me. But he didn't lose any sleep over his suspension by XM, satellite radio. The foul-mouthed radio host slipped away to his Upper West Side apartment yesterday after taping the Opie and Anthony show for CBS Radio and spent the time he normally would have been whooping it up on XM doing something much less controversial. He took a nap. And then it says, I certainly have a lot to say. Opie, whose real name is Gregg Hughes, told the Daily News. And then whatever, it goes on and on from there. But yeah,
that's awesome.
They were expecting that I was gonna talk about my suspension. I'm like, no, I'm just taking a nap and chilling out, brah.
Oh my God, look at this picture they just sent me.
Oh my God! That's awesome. You got to post that.
So I can't post it. I don't post political shit.
Send it to me. I'll
Oh, you got to post this right away, bro.
Yeah,
this is fresh off the presses.
But I'm sure a lot of people have already posted. But basically,
no, I get shit, bro. You don't understand.
All right, but it's Tiger Woods getting the green jacket put on in the what do they call that place in the cabin or whatever it's called, and it's photoshopped as Joe Biden putting on the jacket and giving him a kiss on the neck as he puts the green jacket on. That's really funny, man. But anyway, so where were we? You were talking about the city, the restaurant. All right, yeah. So no, I like Vic Henley.
I love him too. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. He really doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
And the shit that he does, he'll call. We'll be at a bar. I remember we're at a bar, and he goes, I got a friend. She's pretty. But all my friends are scared of her because she's like 13 feet tall. He says, why don't you go give it a run?
Give it a run.
Give it a run.
God.
And I went up to her, and I started talking to her, and I'm doing well. And then Sherrod Small shows up. And I know Dionne Warwick. I know this. It's a fucking problem. Now I got a problem.
Yeah.
Right? So I got to vaccinate Sherrod. Right, so that's easy because I just
take him out of the game.
Yeah, I just put a hand grenade in his pocket. I'm like, "What's your daughter's name?" And I just keep talking to her, and I just see him scrambling. What? Boom! He's gone. Fucking body parts everywhere.
Nice.
So I'm talking to her, and whatever. I get her number and stuff, and he looks at me and goes, "That's nice. Let me go buy you something to eat now. You're tired." He was great though. I love him. He doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't.
He gives zero fucks. He says exactly what he thinks.
Right.
Like, he met Damaris Phillips. She's on the Food Network and everything, and we were sitting there, and first thing out of his mouth, he's like, where are you from? She's like, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. That place is a shithole.
That's fair. Well,
you get raped while people are raping you. Right. It was awful.
Right. Well, that's what happened in the kitchen at La Cubana.
Yeah.
Vic was annoyed that I'm trying to do a podcast, even though everyone involved understood that we were trying to do a podcast.
Back it up.
Well, go ahead.
Back it up.
Go ahead.
How did this start?
What do you mean?
Zero fucks, Vic Henley. Zero fucks. I'll tell you how it started with Vic Henley. Zero fucks.
All right, wait.
We're at Morimoto.
Oh, no. Let's get to that.
My
All right.
best.
Let me do my thing,
Got
and you jump in when it's obvious. So, for the last episode was a mess but it turned out great. But I had.
You don't want a fiber pill?
I don't need no fiber pills. I got some tight logs, some tight ones. They're rolled tight.
I'm throwing cannonballs out.
You got cannonballs.
Now I do with these fiber pills.
As long as you don't have that pot roast.
What's that?
Where it's just like a big lump of pot roast in the toilet after you're done.
Oh, chocolate soup?
No, not soupy. In between. So anyway,
Like chopped beef? Like
a pot roast. It will look like a pot roast in the toilet.
You have to understand why I'm asking you to describe it, because the stories of you growing up, what you thought was pot roast and what they were giving you could be different.
We dreamed of pot roast.
Exactly. Like maybe you have an idea of pot roast.
It was actually
Dinty Moore.
It was actually steakums.
Oh, I know, exactly.
And my mom's like, enjoy your pot roast.
Exactly. Like, Ma, what is this?
Right.
It's cat.
Right. Anyway, so I called Carl up. I said, Carl, let's do a podcast from Westwood One. And now we got back to work Carl. So Carl's like, this no can do, but you could come to the kitchen. I'm going to be trying out some stuff. It'd be a cool place to, podcast and something different. I'm like, I'm up for that. So everyone involved knew. Vic Henley and Sherrod, we're going to go to La Cubana. Carl's going to try out the kitchen for the first time, literally cooking stuff for the first time, seeing if everything works, what he needs, looking at the supplies, trying out recipes. And I'm like, yeah, I want to support Carl, and you're like, and we'll get a cool podcast out of it. So,
Wrong.
Well, as soon as I got there, first of all, I couldn't find you because you guys were doing a nice lunch at Morimoto.
So let me fill in here.
Yeah, go.
So I tell my boss, I'm like, listen, come to the restaurant. I'm going to start cooking. He goes, what are you making? I says, I'm making Cuban hamburgers. He goes, you know who I am. I said, yeah. He goes, you think I'm going to fucking sit all day and eat fucking hamburgers? Follow me. We're going to get some king crab legs.
And he's your boss. Like, he needs you to be in that kitchen perfecting this stuff.
And so he's like, fuck that. Let's go get some crab
But he
legs.
also knows who he hired. He knows you got this. So then I went to La Cubana. I couldn't find you. And then I got word that you were down the street at Morimoto. I walk in, fancy schmancy. And there's Vic Henley. And I'm walking with this on because I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to do something. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. We're gonna podcast. Really?
So anyway, we finished. We finished. I have to go.
Yeah.
Because Tank is at the restaurant already.
Yeah, he's
From South Carolina.
the Hog Man.
Hog Man.
Right. From where?
Holy City Hogs.
Holy City Hogs. I want to talk about him in a second.
So he calls me up. I'm outside by the big building. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Here we go. He doesn't get to the city much, does
This
he?
guy's fucking country mouse could be anywhere right now, right? So now I'm stressed out. I'm like, all right, I'm leaving. So I leave lunch in the middle of eating crab and something.
And who left with you?
You did.
Thank you, Carl.
And Vic Henley goes, all right, guys, I'll be with you in a minute. And just stays with my boss and starts to eat for the next hour and a half. And he comes back.
Enjoying his sake.
He comes back, I'm stressed out, like looking at the meat and stuff. He goes, let me tell you what you missed.
Right.
They brought out this flaming tuna. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I got a $700 lunch. It was supposed to be for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny.
And he's just funny.
Yeah, then we're up in the kitchen, and I was trying to get you, I thought we would do some back and forth, and it was pretty obvious, like, all right, Carl's in serious, focused. I got to get this hamburger right mode. That was your whole goal. You spent what? I was there 4 hours. How many hours were you in the kitchen?
3 more.
So 7 hours.
7 hours.
7 hours just to perfect the Cuban hamburger.
And we didn't get it.
And know what was funny? You didn't get it.
We didn't get it. We're there. We're like 80% there.
And that's how this stuff works?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, you guys were studying it, and you were just cooking the meat separately and using different spices and this and that, variations of well done, medium rare, all over the place. Just really trying out what the meat could do, and the special ingredient in there. I don't know if you want to say
Chorizo.
Oh, it was chorizo. And then you're like, this chorizo isn't right, but okay, we can at least use it for this experiment. And I'm like, the chorizo looks amazing. I'm a stupid, newbie to all this. Anyway, when you finally made the hamburgers and passed them out, and there was at least close to 20 people in that kitchen all partying while you're actually trying to get something done.
And that's what I like. And I like that environment because that's the chaos that a kitchen is.
Right.
Plus, I'm an old chef. I don't like these chefs that they go tuck away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like people to see what's in the sausage, how it's made. You know what I mean?
So you finally had a tray of hamburgers for everyone to try out, and everyone look. People are gonna say it's great no matter what. We're not stupid, right?
But I read them.
No, I know, but then you could tell that they really enjoyed it. There's a difference. No one's gonna say, this is horseshit, but they're going to say, obviously, it's good, but then you could read them and how they're eating and their expression to really see if it's good or not. And everyone was over the top, like, this is one of the best hamburgers I ever had. Right. And then I asked you about it. You're like, I don't care what these people think. And they're your friends.
Right.
That's what I found fascinating about it, because you're like, you know what you're looking for.
Right.
And even though your friends enjoyed the hamburger, you knew it wasn't right in your head. And I thought that was kind of fascinating, to be honest with you. So
yeah, I trust my judgment above all other judgments.
Right. But it really,
because I'm trained for it.
It really was a good hamburger.
People when they come to the kitchen, there's always a pre-lying. They already made their mind up.
Right.
Either they like me, so they're going to say it's good. They don't like me, they're going to smirk. But are they really tasting something? You don't know.
Yeah.
I separate all of that.
Yeah.
I just need people there to eat them.
Right.
Because I need to make a certain amount of them.
And to party and get in the way of, the podcast.
There was one person who was pulled me aside.
Yeah.
Says, can I talk to you about the hamburger? So he thought now we're having a heart to heart. You know what I mean? He thought because I'm so open and fucking laughing and stuff.
Right.
He goes, I think it needs something. I said, oh yeah? What do you think it needs? He says, maybe a little habanero jam or something. I said, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Good for you. Good for you.
Now go and eat your hamburger.
Yeah. And go drink some more of my wine.
Exactly.
My wine that we were supposed to just sample, and we went through a case, I think.
Bro, that was like a party up there, wasn't it?
It was a party. And my job was to try to get some of this on the podcast. I was enjoying myself, but I was also working. But people they see this stupid Zoom and they think this is all this fun and games. I'm like, no, we're actually trying to build a podcast audience. And maybe you could help us a little bit. That would be nice.
People aren't going to help you.
And I would walk over to Vic, and Vic's like, really? 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 Do you ever turn that thing off? I'm like, yeah, when I feel like I finally got a good hour, then I'll turn it off and we can have all the fun in the world. Right. And then we'll go to a restaurant, we'll walk around the city, we'll do whatever you want. But it's pretty obvious. We're trying to get this on tape.
You have to understand Vic's attitude. I mean, he just came out of a $700 lunch. And now he's drinking wine and eating cheeseburgers.
And speaking another language with the other Southern people there.
They speak that patois, right?
It was Barbecue Princess and Barbecue Ninja. And man, they were really really bringing down.
Oh, it was.
And it got to a point I didn't recognize words, and they're all just
I know, inside jokes,
right? Just a ton of redneck humor, I don't know, whatever. But it was definitely a good time.
I brought Ninja down, Barbecue Ninja. I bring him down to the club.
Yeah,
and my boss is there, and the Ninja looks at the wall. He goes, "Are those Pappy Van Winkle bottles?" I said, "Yeah." So my boss goes, "What, are those fucking good or something?" I said, "Yeah." I mean, I'm like, for these people, it's the best. This is their Barolo. You know what I mean? Because he's Italian. He doesn't know. He doesn't drink fucking bourbon.
Right. Oh, he doesn't know the difference?
No, he doesn't drink bourbon. He drinks fucking red wine and fucking Sambuca. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he says, "Carl, give him one. You know, whatever." So I bring down a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. You should have seen fucking Ninja's face. So we did a shot for Gary, R.I.P.
Yes.
And we did
Gary,
a shot.
who owned U-Bonds.
U-Bonds Barbecue. We did.
He was on the early episodes of the podcast. And Barbecue Princess is his daughter, and it was great to see her on the last episode. But go ahead.
We did a shot, then another one.
Yeah.
Basically drank a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, which was cool.
Nice.
And he's like, "This is like Scarface down here." I'm like, "No, it is exactly like Scarface."
Yeah, it's not like... What's the name of that club?
Red Rabbit.
Red Rabbit. It had a cool vibe. But that was interesting because you weren't touching any of the wine or anything.
No.
You were so focused on getting that kitchen right and that hamburger right. And then...
because alcohol makes you give concessions. That's the only problem with alcohol is you concede. Right? Like, you're like, it's good enough.
Right.
Alcohol gives you that good enough.
Right.
And if you ever see who you date when you're drunk or what you do, it's a lot of concessions.
Right.
Oh, she's alive. You know, or, oh, I can drive. Like, it's all concessions.
Alcohol makes a lot of people just settle.
Yeah.
Just settle.
It's a settling drug.
Right.
It makes you settle. Like, you know what? I'm just going to sit in my backyard with flies on my face.
Right.
And fucking,
she's got 2 legs.
Who cares? I know it's my sister. I know her already.
But it's Alabama.
It's Alabama. She's got one eye. But that's, and that's why I stay away from it when I cook. Because concession is the worst human trait. Yeah. When you're trying to perform at on an apex level.
Yeah.
You know, like you wanna not have that.
Right.
Because everyone around me was already exhausted, drinking wine, so they're giving up. Burger's fine! But that's why you don't listen to them.
Well, and I'm like, the only person I could count on in this kitchen is the guy that is like over his meat trying to figure things out. Like, fuck. And then so I talked to Nick Solaris, and he's just the angriest man alive.
He's a writer. That's how they are.
He's talented, obviously.
He's
and
super
he
talented.
knows his meat. And
he really does.
And he really wants to help you out, and he's a good asset for you and La Cubana.
And the way he talks about food, I just enjoy. I was laughing with him the other day. We're at this giant barbecue thing, and he just tells people like it is. And this guy, like James Beard award-winning barbecue guy and stuff, comes up and goes, "What'd you think of the rib?" He goes, "You're not at your best today." Wow! I was like, someone like, Shazam! Wow! I was so uncomfortable. My fucking sneakers got tight. Like I was swelled up.
And I always thought, like, how does he get away with this without getting punched in the face? But then I saw it on his Instagram. He like boxes, right?
Yeah, he's a boxer.
Like he takes it seriously. Like he has a heavy bag in his apartment or something.
He'll hit you good. Nick will hit you good.
Yeah, because I've thought about it a couple times.
You wanted to fight him. Now you're like, well, maybe I'll just make fun of him.
I know he loves that 7th rib. I was thinking of taking a few pops to his 7th rib.
Oh, he did it on my birthday again with the rib. He was at Keen Steakhouse yelling at everybody.
Really? Nick's all right, but I just wish he would just.
But you know what? In
calm
my
it
world,
down a little bit.
In my world, I love people that are hyper focused because that's what you need.
Oh no,
You know what I
of
mean?
course.
But the problem is with us, people that are hyper focused. When you put us in a normal situation, we get weird. Just like you, you're hyper focused about what you do. When you put us in a room full of settlers, because that's most people settle.
Right.
They settle about everything.
No, I get all that. When he's
But we come out as we look like fucking crazy people because we don't.
When he's talking about meat, I give him my full attention, and he has a way of talking about it. He broke down the whole beef industry. I found it fascinating. And then I walked back with this, and he's like, you're still recording your podcast? I'm like, give me respect back, you dick. That's all I want.
He's getting under your skin.
I'm like, give me some fucking respect. Because I actually know he's knowledgeable, and I know I could. This is what's frustrating. I know he's knowledgeable, and some of that back and forth where there's tension, I love that. That's great for a podcast. But I also know he's knowledgeable enough where I could actually get some interesting things out of him. But then he's bothered because I'm walking up to him with this thing on. And then we discovered, and Vic was mad at himself because Vic is really good at like reading a room and noticing shit. And all of a sudden, you were the one that told us that Nick Solaris was wearing a Marie's T-shirt at the first day in the kitchen at La Cubana with you cooking.
Yeah.
And me and Vic look at each other like, I think it was our jobs to notice that before Carl did.
Oh, I came up to him like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
What was his answer to that after all the laughs? Because we just
I like this shirt. Go fuck yourself. That's why I love him.
It's soft. I like it. Actually, it's my favorite shirt.
No, his first thing was like, you gave it to me. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
What the fuck?
You gave me like Marie's stickers, and I had a couple of those shirts. Guess where they are, Carl?
Where?
I don't know. I think some kid in in Africa is wearing it.
With the Buffalo Bill Championship.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know where it is because I got rid of all that stuff.
Personally, I think Nick Solaris could kick both of your asses. That's number one. Number two, I think he wore the shirt. I think he wants to ward off the evil spirits. By wearing the shirt, I think he breaks a curse. And I think that's what he was doing. So I think it was something superstitious. I don't believe it was just because he likes the shirt. I think he's trying to break the curse of the evil succubus. Now, I might be talking out of my ass right now, but then again, I'm sipping a strawberry daiquiri in Jamaica in honor of Gregg. Because I'm on vacation, and by the magic of technology, I'm here podcasting with you right now. But actually, I'm not. I'm on a cruise with my family. And I'm having a good time, getting cattle called every 40 minutes and eating about 8 times a day, with a bunch of fat, ugly, middle-class Americans. In fact, I plan on gaining at least 50 pounds, and when I come back, just call me Roland. So right now I'm going to put down my stick on a ship trophy that I won at the Hairy Chess Contest. And then while my wife's at the spa getting felt up by a guy named Sven, me and my son Roman are going to go take a course in ice sculpting. This is fun. Now finally, Gregg, let's do a little spot-a-rooney.
Paid for by National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA is working hard to combat texting while driving. It can be a little frustrating, especially if you're in a hurry or running late, to find yourself at a railway crossing waiting for a train. And if the signals are going and the train's not even there yet, you can feel a bit tempted to try and sneak across the tracks. Well, don't. Ever. Trains are often going a lot faster than you expect them to be, and they can't stop. Even if the engineer hits the brakes right away, it could take a train over a mile to stop. By that time, what used to be your car is just a crushed hunk of metal, and what used to be you, well, better not think about that. The point is, you can't know how quickly the train will arrive. The train can't stop even if it sees you. The result is disaster. If the signals are on, the train is on its way. And you just need to remember one thing. Stop. Trains can't.
Wait, sorry. Real quick, Cruise 101 tip. If you decide to take a shit in your cabin, do not flush the toilet while sitting on the bowl, unless you want your ass to look like an orangutan's.
Hey, what happened?
And if you're hairy as a fucking ape and you're on the beach half naked, Gregg's about to hook you up.
Taming the briar patch, mowing the lawn, or trimming Yeti, whatever you call it, it's about time we talked about manscaping. Guys, you manscape, right? You know, keep things trimmed and fresh below the waist. 9 out of 10 women of all ages prefer their guy Manscaped, but you got to have the right tools for the jewels, or you'll look like you used a machete. Pop over to manscaped.com and check out their perfect package. Oh, not that perfect package. The Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0, that was a smash hit on Shark Tank. It features the lawnmower, a precision trimmer engineered for below-the-waist grooming. Its skin-safe technology means no more accidental nicks and burns. Check out the lawnmower and the amazing grooming and hygiene products that come with your perfect package. What's that saying? Trim the shrubs and the tree stands taller? Well, get 20% off plus free shipping today if you visit manscaped.com and use promo code OPIE, And again, use promo code Opie at Manscaped, MANSCAPED.com, Manscaped.com.
Did you watch Tiger Woods?
I did. It brought that was a week ago now, but it brought tears to my eyes. I'll be honest with you.
I cried.
You did.
I cried. I literally cried.
You're wearing a Masters tournament hat right now.
I'm so proud of that dude. And you know what I loved? I loved the groundswell of I for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
The virtue signaling people on Twitter got defeated.
Right.
Because right off the bat, I posted on Instagram. I posted a picture of him when he was 2 strokes away.
Yeah.
I said, anyone who's not Tiger Woods right now is trash.
Yeah. That was
and
a
here
great
comes
post.
this lady. Oh, he's a piece of garbage. Oh, I don't care how good he is. Joey said he was a piece of junk on my Instagram, and I wrote, and I wrote,
Joey did?
Joey.
Really?
Probably with his wife in the car or something. Maybe he got in trouble.
Right.
But I said, I will never spend 1 minute worrying about another fucking person.
Yeah.
Like the guy, I watch him play golf.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he does.
Right.
I know that he's not in jail.
Right.
So it can't be that bad.
Well, it's funny because how many Perkins waitresses jokes did you see online? And I was just like, dude,
But it's just...
this is way above that. I could deal with a Tiger Woods Perkins waitress joke, no problem. And I did in the
What was it? What did he do?
They're basically thinking he's finger popping Perkins waitresses again because he won the Masters. Because
Why? He was doing that before?
when he was womanizing his ass off on tour and winning like crazy.
Right.
And then, his wife caught him and hit him with the 4-iron or whatever the hell it was, and he crashed trying to escape her and all that crap. And then everything went bad for pretty much a decade, if not longer, after that.
Right.
So people were like, look, he can't bang the waitresses anymore, and that's why his golf game suffered. So when he won the Masters, everyone jumped on that bandwagon like, oh, I guess he's finger-popping waitresses again. And I'm like, look, I love humor like you and anyone else,
Right.
but... don't you understand how amazing this moment was? This could be one of the greatest...
It was like watching a movie.
It could be one of the greatest comeback stories...
Easily.
In all of sports. And
I think it's the second one. The first one's obscure.
which one?
It's Niki Lauda, the Formula One driver.
Sure. I know the name. I really
Niki
do.
Lauda.
Yeah.
Niki Lauda, cigarette
A million years ago. That's like the 70s.
Yeah, Niki Lauda, you
early
should look
80s,
his
something
story.
like that.
Burnt his face off.
Right.
Came back and won.
Really?
Like they had to fix his helmet because all the scar tissue. He looks like a monster.
Wow. And
they used to say, he used to tell the reporters, he's like, at least I'm ugly for a reason.
Yeah, but in that world, that's like...
He was Niki Lauda. If you read his story, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, just to... And you can go on YouTube and watch the accident. Watch him just burn to death in a fucking car.
And he was willing to come back and,
And
do it
he
again.
came back and won at the same track.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, man.
I would go with George Foreman too, winning the title in his 40s. That was a hell of a comeback story.
That
too.
was, but
let me tell you.
But let me tell you about Foreman. The competition that Foreman had, as opposed to what Woods was up against. These young kids are playing golf,
Right.
with a lot more technology, bro.
Well, they all are good because they had Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods brought the game to a whole other level,
Yeah.
and all the young kids emulated Tiger Woods. So now Tiger's got to compete against mini versions of himself.
Of him, exactly, because he changed the training parameters.
Right.
He changed
Right.
everything.
It's kind of like how me and Anthony showed a lot of people how to do this radio/podcast thing, and now there's a million little mini Opie and Anthonys out there. I'm not that bitter. No. But anyway, this is why the Tiger Woods thing is so amazing, though, because 2 years ago, it's well known at this point, he had such terrible back pain, and he was a mess, and he said, I don't think I can play golf anymore. I just want to be able to walk and enjoy my life. And then somewhere along the way with his rehab and stuff, and they fused his back. I think that a couple of the discs are actually fused. And
Is it true that he tore himself apart because of his swing? Is that why
his swing? I saw him at Shinnecock, way out there on Long Island for, I think it was a U.S. Open. I've told the story before. I sat on a tee box and watched these guys drive, golfer after golfer, and they swing pretty damn hard, right? But when Tiger Woods swung, and the noise that the club made when it hit the ball was frightening.
Really?
Frightening. And I know enough about golf, and I remember back in the day with my boys and stuff talking about Tiger Woods and golf. We're like, he's young, but when he gets older, that swing of his is going to fuck up his back.
Right.
We said that a million years ago because
you're right.
I mean, when you're young, you can pretty much do anything. It's when you get a little older when all that stuff catches up to you.
Yeah.
But for
It's
him,
like me. Like I can fucking do a keg stand now. I'm terrified.
Right. Right. But for him to turn around and win the Masters, how he did it too, and I think everyone watching were like, "This is happening."
Yeah.
We don't know how yet. You know, that Molinari had to like choke, and he doesn't really choke. He plays like robot golf. He's like really fucking good. Barely makes bogeys, and then he.
Yeah, but of course you're going to choke. I mean, just think about it. Molinari grew up looking at Woods, right? And now Woods is hot on your heels.
Yeah.
That's got to be pressure.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
That would be like Jack Nicklaus, right? Fucking coming out of retirement and being the lead.
Yeah.
People are going to get fucking weird.
And Tiger's just walking around that course chewing gum. He was in the zone.
He was there.
He knew there was something special going on that day. Like, you could just feel that this was going to happen. And he only won by one stroke. But I don't think he's a piece of shit. I've read articles on him. I don't know how true it is, but he went back to Buddhism, and his mom helped him get past that terrible period of his life.
He's just a golfer. Just enjoy the fucking game.
And even if he is a piece of shit, still to this day, I don't care. Because I don't know him personally. That's for his friends and family to care. I'm seeing an amazing athlete that just did one of the most amazing comebacks in sports history. That's what I cared about.
The problem is as a society, we create these people, and then we're upset when they do exactly what they're supposed to do.
Right.
Okay, so the level of gaming is so big in everything, in boxing, in football, in baseball, in soccer, that's all these people do to get to that level of performance, to be superhuman.
Yeah.
So if you're learning golf all day, guess what you're not learning? How not to be a piece of shit.
Right. Yeah.
So we created them. We pay them.
Right.
To be this person.
Yeah.
Millions and millions and millions of dollars. And then we're all surprised. Right?
They barely have time to think about anything else but golf.
But do people ever tweet, wow, I am nowhere near the athletic specimen of Tiger Woods. I'm a piece of shit. I don't have the discipline or the drive to ever achieve anything like that.
Right.
No. They go, I go to Perkins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, give a spade a spade. Like,
maybe I'll go back to it like the Perkins thing, but I was thinking this thing is so much more amazing than the dumb Perkins stuff right now.
Right.
But I mean, he
best tweet I saw about it. This guy, Jeff, played for the Giants. He wrote, "Everyone who's tweeting about Tiger Woods, every man that's tweeting about Tiger Woods cheating on his wife is cheating on their wife."
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. That made me laugh.
I'll tell you why it brought tears to my eyes, and it's funny because on Twitter, like a few people. Some people are brave enough to just say, yeah, this brought tears to my eyes. And then, of course, if you're on Twitter, what are you? All right. Maybe I shouldn't have went on Twitter then. But anyway.
I openly cried when that happened. It was so emotional to me because...
Well, it brought me back because there was a time...
I mean, the whole country waited 11 years for this guy.
Yeah, 11 years to do the biggest comeback.
How about the sponsors that dropped them? They must be like, there's emails right now going nuts.
Tiger Woods' phone is ringing off the hook with people on the other end just going, my bad.
Oh, no. You know how those marketing people are. Tiger, my man.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
We had a little bump in the road, but we're back.
Little bumperoonie.
Team Tiger.
We're all with you, Tiger.
This is why it brought tears to my eyes. It was brought back memories. So way back in the day, my grandma, who died in 2002, I think. My dad died in 2004, 2 years after my grandma died. I remember the days when Tiger was first coming up. My grandma would come over to our house, hang out. She'd hang out for a week or whatever. But long story short, on a Sunday...
Ooh, that's a long time.
It was my grandma on the couch, my dad on the couch, and me on a couch, and probably a couple other siblings, sitting on a Sunday just chilling out, watching Tiger Woods win. Everybody was into it. Even my grandma. So when he won, it brought me back to that time.
It did for a lot of people.
I think so.
And that's what I'm telling you. What was incredible about it was, at first, Twitter, the masses, the torch-holding masses, tried to just beat this guy up.
Yeah.
Because remember, last time Tiger Woods won, Twitter didn't even exist.
No.
So you have all these little nobodies just going all in, and it was just overwhelmed by fuck yeah, Tiger won. Like, and it was nice to finally see
the positive vibes smothered out the negative.
One of the few times I saw it happen.
I agree with you, man.
And I watched Twitter all day just watching. I mean,
and people are trying. They're poking
they're trying. He doesn't deserve. Wait, he should give that trophy to his wife. Like but it wouldn't catch. Right. It wouldn't fucking catch. And everybody tried their best.
Yeah,
all these virtue signaling people trying to crush him. And it was just like, yo, bro, the whole country wanted. This kid was America's kid. You know what I mean?
And isn't a person?
We grew up with him. It was like the Truman Show. We grew up watching him grow up.
And isn't a person allowed to change and figure out their shit?
No, not anymore.
But I mean,
you do something wrong, they take your livelihood away
forever. So because in America we love celebrity, right? So on your way up, we'll support the hell out of you. Then you get to a point. I kind of went through a little of this myself. Then not to compare myself to Tiger Woods, of course. Of course not. But,
sorry, Tiger. Big shout out.
No, of course not. But I have a little experience with it. So
a little shot of Weller?
Yeah, in my coffee though. Go ahead. Well, my coffee. I gotta get another coffee. Anyway, let's get you a coffee. That's the bell.
Coffee coming out.
You gotta follow Carl on Instagram to understand the bell. That's the famous bell.
Yeah.
Can I do it?
Sure.
Oh my God, I feel I'm so privileged. What happens? Nothing's happening.
It all happens in your head.
Oh, okay. But so anyway, people love celebrity. They support you on the way up. And then it gets to a point where they're like, I don't want to support this guy anymore. And then they have to tear you the fuck down. Happens to a lot of people that have celebrity. And then you're torn all the way down to nothing again. But then these sick fucks then enjoy your comeback. And that's what we saw with Tiger Woods.
The masses are so dangerous. When this mass culture of just beating people up is insanity.
Right.
It's insanity.
Well, how about the lady that discovered the black hole and they attacked her?
I don't know about that.
You don't know? So you saw the black hole thing, right?
No.
A couple weeks ago?
No.
Where we got the first picture of a black hole. And Einstein was so scared of black holes he didn't want to deal with it.
Really?
He didn't want to deal with it. He's like, you have no idea what we're looking at.
That's the smartest guy. He was smart.
He did not want to deal with it. It scared the hell out of him. One of the few things that scared Einstein. So this woman discovered the black hole, and they got the first picture. It took years to really figure out how they were going to capture this on film or whatever. And then there was another guy that kind of helped, but she was truly the one that was the lead on this whole thing. So Twitter and social media tore her down.
I didn't know that.
With the same horse shit that stupid we have to deal with. But here's a lady that should be celebrating the fact that she was the one.
What was the point?
Well, they're like, she's basically a girl, and, you didn't actually discover this, and you're a pig, and you're a piece of shit. Like, instead of everyone getting on board and going, wow, this is pretty amazing that we get to see this in our lifetime, that they actually got, a picture of a black hole. And there was another guy that was associated with the research, and they were like, you didn't really discover this. It was a man. It was that guy over there. You should look it up. And she had to eat a lot of shit. And then the other guy came to her defense because he's a gay guy, because they're looking at she's weak because she's a female.
Why does it matter?
That the guy, that the strong guy was actually the one that discovered this whole thing, and then the guy came out and basically defended her and said, no, it was pretty much more her than anybody. She should get the credit. And by the way, I
was kind of hanging out.
By the way, for all you guys that think I'm this tough male, I'm actually a gay guy, and it was unbelievable to watch, because even something like that where it should.
So we got a picture of the black hole. Who cares?
Huh? What do you mean? Who cares?
Is that big science?
Yeah, they've been trying to do that for a long time. Personally, it looked like back in the day when we were at NEW, we had girls fax their boobs, and they would come through the fax machine. It looks like pretty close to that.
Jesus Christ,
Opie. You got to understand what a boob looks like if you fax it into a shock jock radio program, and then you'd get that joke. But anyway, it made me laugh. So anyway, the Tiger Woods thing was pretty impressive, and being a father. When he won the championship, Tiger over the years has been known to be a guy that doesn't really show his emotions. He definitely showed his emotion when he won this thing, because he's been waiting for this for so long. Never thought
it would ever happen again. He was just hoping, like I said, to walk and maybe get to swing a club a little bit, but not compete on that level. But anyway, so when he got off the green and hugged his son and his kids, I was like, all right, I think Tiger is a different person than the past. I really do. Wow. That hug was definitely a hug between a father and his kids, and I thought that was.
I was
really
just happy
cool.
that Twitter wasn't able to just rob him
to
of
squash that. No, well that's
why
why
they tried their best.
Well, that's why I
social media in general.
Well, that's why I brought up the black hole lady, because they did that to her when it should have been her day. Because that was pretty.
And it was so uniform. Like I'm watching, Trump puts out.
He wants to take credit for it, and he probably and stupid Trump's probably like, oh look, and he's wearing a red shirt, just like my red hat
or some shit. So
right.
he sends out a tweet to Tiger,
right.
And people just. I mean, if you want to have fun, I follow Donald Trump for the simple fact. The responses of people.
Oh, yeah. You got to go right into the comments.
Like Betsy from Illinois. Rapist! It's unbelievable.
We're all so uptight.
It's so shitty.
Everyone is just so uptight.
So then, and they're eating him alive. And I'm like, all right, so this is, the way I think in my mind, I'm like, this is going to get weird now because Trump likes Woods. That makes Woods enemy number one.
Yeah.
But then Barack Obama, congratulations. LeBron James, all these guys. Except Jordan, I think he was...
Jordan doesn't talk much.
No. Because every time he talks, he gets in trouble.
Nah, he was never a talker because...
he learned a lot. That's why he has such a great career.
Yeah, over the years, the black athletes have been trying to get something going, with the racism and whatnot,
right.
And Jordan always tapped out and would not give his opinion on stuff. And
it
used to piss off a lot of people because all the other big black athletes, like you got to go back to Bill Russell, Muhammad Ali. I'm trying to remember James Brown and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. These were all huge black athletes that really got into the whole racism thing in America. And then it was Jordan's turn, and he would just keep his mouth shut because he basically.
Because I'm drinking. But what's the name of the black baseball player from Brooklyn? The best ever.
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
Do you know that Jackie Robinson? They used to sew metal plates into his shirt because people would throw balls at him.
Really?
For when he went up to bat.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. So it was Jordan's turn, and basically he was like, hey, you know what? He basically wanted to sell sneakers. And he basically thought if you want
Jordan to start talking, talk to him about sports betting. He'll
Right.
fucking be like, have a seat. You know how much he must have had riding on this fucking game?
Right.
He loves betting on golf.
He doesn't really talk much. He just lives his life, man. You don't really hear from Michael Jordan often. I still think he's the greatest player of all time.
He's the best.
Although we did this already, but the Wilt Chamberlain did things that no one else was doing during his time when he was playing. It was insane. But
when I talk sports on this, I just
tap out.
I tap out. You know why I tap out?
It's okay.
Because in my mind, I picture the tweets later.
Yeah.
Like someone that's like, before they answer back, I could see like whenever, like it took them like 2 hours worth of research. You're wrong! Like sports people are the worst!
Yeah. Well, just all the people, and I certainly was one of them, but I'm not in sports radio. All the people going, Tiger will never win.
Oh my God!
again.
Did you see like all the montages of all these
Yeah.
people who've never done a thing?
Stupid Stephen A. Smith. Are we talking about? I hate Stephen A. Smith.
You don't like him?
Not at all.
I like his delivery. I like the way he
Do you
talks.
really?
I don't.
He's a pompous asshole. You gotta find the fine line between the two.
I like Mike Francesca.
Mikey.
Mikey's good.
Mikey said there's what did he say? He said there is nil or no. He might have used the word nil, which makes him even douchier. Because there's a nil chance that Tiger Woods wins the Masters.
When
that
I was
clip's going around
I talked
too.
about Woods. I talked about Woods when I was when I do the fantasy football thing at ESPN.
Yeah.
And one of the guys, he's a big guy there, right? And I was talking to him by the coffee machine, and he told me, he's like, Tiger Woods, stop it. It's over. And I sent him a text. That's it.
Even if Tiger never wins another major, he
did it. He's done.
He did it.
He did it.
Now it's just gravy. If he wins a couple more, great. I know he's only 4 away from Nicholas at this point to beat the record. I think Jack Nicklaus has 18 majors and,
Right.
and
He has
Tiger's
15.
up to 15, I believe. Right? Yeah. So
Imagine he beats Jack Nicholson.
after taking a decade off of not winning any,
Not winning, he was reverse winning. He
Right.
was 3,000. There was a picture of that black hole. He was next to it.
there you go. Nice. And then the other thing about your restaurant from the last episode, the Hog Man got bent.
What happened?
What happened? We're at the club. It's on the episode, and we're having a nice conversation about hog farming. You know, he's going to be supplying the pork for La Cubana, right?
Not only that, me and two buddies were trying to build a hog farm in Jersey with him.
Really?
Yeah. Ooh. I'm going to be Bricktop from Snatch.
Wow. That's got to be a TV show if you do that.
Imagine.
But I learned a lot about hog farming and stuff, and I found it really weird that he names the pigs considering they're going to be slaughtered. And we had a good, serious conversation about the whole thing, and you can check it out on the last episode. And then you fast forward, and he was bent. He was enjoying the party in that kitchen there, Carl.
It's I never saw that. I think the combination of being in New York, he didn't go to lunch with us, and having access to a full New York City bar,
Right.
with no one telling you to stop. I mean, everyone in there's a grown up. No one gives a fuck, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot for hanging out with me like that. That's
Yeah, but you weren't leading the way.
no, but
That's what made
but
it so interesting.
Leaving the access to that much
yeah.
stuff. You know, in New York City, trust me, I've been in New York City my whole life. There's a lot of people that come visit me, and they think they want a Ruiz. They really do. I'll give you a perfect example. Billy Durney calls me the next day after that thing.
From Hometown Barbecue in
The
Brooklyn.
best. Billy goes to me, he goes, hey, you're going to kill all these fucking people. He goes, they think drinking a lot is, you know, having 18 Bud Lights in the back of their farm. He's like, they come up here. It's a whole nother animal. They come up here, whatever they ask me, I'm like fucking Aladdin.
Yeah.
Like, I want gunpowder and a tourniquet. I'm like, 2 minutes. You know what I mean? But it's a lot for them to realize New York City, we're pro drinkers. We're hard drinkers. We're not beer drinkers. Right? And I see that all the time. I'm in the city. People are like, man, let's go Ruiz. Yeah. And like, first they take a selfie and they take a picture of the shot and then they buy me like 3 shots. But my pace is so neck breaking.
It's scary.
It's scary that they're
I've
like,
been next to you many a time,
the pace is unstoppable.
and I will nurse a shot or two. Like, you got mad at me. Sorry, but
Right.
it's important to this. So we went out for your birthday. I hung as long as I could with, then Billy Corbin tapped out. Your boss tapped out. It was down to like 4 or 5 of us. You took us to that boxing bar.
Billy's.
The cut guy from Muhammad Ali
Billy,
has
yeah.
a bar, like just a down and dirty bar.
How awesome is that?
With all the boxing memorabilia all over the walls.
Priceless.
It was
Priceless
awesome.
memorabilia.
And because on me, you're buying us shots. It's your birthday. We're 8 hours in now, and I nursed for the 8 hours.
Right.
You're like full throttle.
Full throttle.
And at that point, I couldn't tell you no anymore. You weren't going to listen to no at that point. So I'm embarrassed to say this, but I was pouring shots on the floor.
Opie.
I had to
Just-
go into your point. I couldn't do anymore. But then
Okay, can I give you some courtesy,
then I was-
some courtesy points?
I was backing up your shot, so you had yours and mine.
And I don't care. I'll go right through them like a wood chipper.
Do you understand? You were ordering them every 5 minutes. They were coming like this.
Well, because they're shots.
And then I don't want to mention his name because he wants to be a bit incognito. He's looking at me, and he was doing the same thing because we're like, we can't do this anymore. But Carl is not going to take no for an answer.
My sous chef, my kitchen. Good news, Bourbon is still here.
Oh, they're still.
My sous chef's at the restaurant today. I didn't want to go in today. And nice, huh?
That's some sweet stuff. Anyway, so going back to your point about, I only mentioned that because
But you can't spill them on the floor, Ope.
What am I going to do?
This is what you do.
You were getting mad if we weren't keeping up with you. We were trying.
Right, but what you do is you pass them off to somebody.
There was no one else left. We were down to, actually at that point it was 4 of us.
So that you look at the bartender and go, Ginger. They'll know what you're talking about.
Ah, so I don't piss you off.
You go ginger, and the bartenders will know that you're with a pro.
Right.
And all I need is a cadence buddy.
We did hand off one to the people right next to us. They were happy. But I interrupted you. So the Ruizing, and when people come into your world, they don't realize the pace.
The pace it'll get you.
Right.
And every once in a while, I mean, I was...
But what was Bill Durney saying? I interrupted because I got excited because I can relate to this.
So Bill Durney goes, you're going to kill all these country boys. I mean, they come here and it doesn't even make sense to them. They think that Ruizing is 2 Instagram pictures. They don't realize there's 14 hours between each picture of craziness. And I said, Billy, no one can catch you if you're racing to the bottom.
Right.
You know what I mean? No one will ever catch you. And having sous chefs, I forgot what this is like.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of texts during this.
Should I walk to the left? Should I walk? You know, because it's a new kitchen, so it's sending me a lot of texts. They don't understand. Like, I'd rather you make a mistake and me be able to blame you than we make a mistake together on the phone.
Right.
You know, people have to be proactive. But that's why
you got to deal with all this again. Carl's back in the game.
Back in the fucking game, Opie.
But so Bill's like, they have no
so
idea
Billy's like,
of your pacing.
So I told Billy a story. I said, Billy, I went to Alabama, Gulf Shores, Alabama. I mean, everybody there, War Eagle this, Roll Tide that, pounding their chest with their NASCAR leather jackets from 1997.
Yeah.
You know, the fucking Dale Earnhardt tramp stamps and shit. Like, and I got there, and everybody's like, well, good luck with your Ruizing down here. This is what we do. And I said, oh, yeah? All right. First night, I go out. This guy, he owns like 4 restaurants. His name is Panini Pete. We go to one of his restaurants, beautiful restaurant right on the water in Alabama. Actually, everything's either on the water or underwater in Alabama. We're in lower Alabama. They call it L.A., which is pretty funny. And he takes me out. And he says, I'm going to show you how we drink in Alabama. I said, oh really? Well, prepare your men.
Looks like we got Dean Martin here.
Oh, look at this one.
Hey.
What's up, George Thorogood?
All right.
Let's fucking dance.
Oh, you part of the Rat Pack?
So he takes me to a place called Floribama. Half of the bar is in Florida and half of it's in Alabama.
Beautiful.
And you go from one side to another, and one side closes because the liquor laws, and you just move to the other side of the bar.
Is that real?
Awesome. Yeah.
They have a different closing times?
Yeah.
In the same bar?
It's in the same bar. It's called Floribama. And on Sundays, they have church in the bar at 7 in the morning. They have a church service, and people are just crushing in there.
Nice.
So this is my terradrome.
Yeah.
I walk in, I look like nobody else. I'm wearing clogs and stuff, and I'm talking to girls, and they love my accent because it's like someone from Alabama being here. So I'm like, hey, doll, hey, what's going on? Let's get it done. I find a little cluster that follows me on Instagram. Holy shit! Ruizing!
Right.
Let's go to the drinking bar. They have a drinking bar where it's like all shots and fucking crazy shit upstairs. They got some band. Every band there plays the same fucking 7 songs. You know what I mean?
Little Skinnerd.
Leonard, Skinner, Leonard, Skinner, Leonard, Skinner. Right? So I love Leonard Skinner, so we're good. There's people with bandanas on. Intimidating place. I get there, I start. Let's go. Shots. Beer. Shot. All of a sudden, I just start peeling these guys like a banana. Fucking, I'm in Alabama. This one guy he had camouflage everything. Like even camouflage contact lenses. Like Predator. He's like, I gotta go home. So he says, we're like, all right. And he goes and he sits down in a chair and just goes to sleep like he's dead. That was home for him.
Right.
This is a place that has an annual mullet throw. It's called the Mullet Toss or a mullet throw, where everyone wears mullet wigs and throws them into the water. And then the cops come all the time because they get stuck in the boat propellers, all the mullets. Like this crazy shit.
Can you just knock this shit off?
Now there's a kid next to me, starts crying. He's like, I'm like, what's the matter, soldier? He's a Marine. He goes, the cocaine sucks in Alabama. I'm going home. He goes and sits down, goes to sleep in a chair. I'm like, I go, Pete, these are your guys? Get the fuck out of here. Buried everybody. Got a ride home from some girl. I mean, this girl. At this point, she could have ripped the front seat out and drove from the back.
Really? Good for you.
Touching her leg, it's her arm. So I go back to the condo. I wake up 9:30. I'm already at the donut shop. I walked from my hotel, having a donut, ready to go. Get to the event at 10:15. Nobody's there. The event started at noon. I killed everybody.
You wiped the whole...
I wiped the festival out.
You wiped the festival out. Wow.
Wiped the whole festival. First night.
Right.
So now I'm like, I did my event. Now it's 3 o'clock. I start drinking these things called Shark Bites or something. It's a frozen drink that everyone's like, danger, danger. I drank maybe 7 of them with a bachelorette party. And I ruined the bachelorette party.
Now they're out.
Fist fight. 2 girls fought, fist fight in the bathroom.
Right.
That were friends, but like frenemies.
Right.
They're fighting in the bathroom. I'm slow dancing with the bride lady. I'm wearing her like veil. It's a fucking mess. No one could stop me because I killed everybody the day before.
Right.
So now it's all C-level people. Now people are trying to find out I'm in Alabama. So then they start showing up. So then here comes one of these championship barbecue guys. And his event is the next day. He goes, we're going out tonight. I heard you, big tough guy out here now. I'm taking you to the Ark. Now, the Ark is like a bar that you can own. Like, you have to be a member. And it is seedy, Opie. I mean, and I walk, and it's like, and it's got an Ark thing and a neon thing. And it just looks like you get fucking stabbed in there. And I go in there with this guy and 2 other guys. They have a great burger there, by the way. And I'm sitting there and I start pounding. And the bartender is this like salty 50-year-old lady. And you could smoke in there. She's smoking cigarettes, ashing in the shot glass that I just used. And then washes it by hand and gives it back to me. Like, perfect fucking bar.
Right.
And I'm with this barbecue guy and he wants to go shot for shot. Now, he thinks I'm going to be a little soft from the day before. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Next thing you know, he's passed out in a booth in the back. And I'm slow dancing with the bartender. And he wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning and goes, what happened? I said, look, they made me a member. I'm a member of a fucking dive bar in Alabama. I said, guys, this is what I do.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, I said, when you drink, you're thinking about tomorrow. I'm thinking about yesterday. You can't drink with someone that's thinking about yesterday.
Right.
You're thinking about tomorrow. I got this to do tomorrow. I'm like, the only thing I have to do tomorrow is I hope they find me. You know what I mean? Like,
You're leaving that town like it's a ghost town. You're like a gunslinger,
dude,
just leaving town.
I buried everybody.
So I'm on the other side of that too because I believe you had some Instagram lives from that location.
Yes.
Yeah, and at first I'm like, I know he's down south, but man, I don't recognize this as English. Okay. And you're still, I can tell you were partying, and you're definitely being entertaining for the audience on the live, and the people behind you, I swear to God, it looked like they were doing shots of Novocaine. Yeah. They were just like, oh, their mouths aren't moving anymore. I don't know what they're looking at, and they're like,
I killed them all.
It was unbelievable. So
there's this one. I'm at this bar, and there's this guy. He's a big fan of the podcast, and look at those new black squirrels. You don't see those outside. So, see it right there by the river?
Oh, damn. Look at that. You can't see that. I understand. That's cool, though. You don't see a lot of black squirrels in this neck of the woods.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to the guy, and the wife, silent for the most part. You know what I mean? But she's looking at me.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking, and he's drinking. He's trying to Ruiz this whole bullshit. And don't get me wrong, there's people that'll take me out, but they weren't there. You know what I mean? And I'm talking to him, and she starts getting loose and drinking, and they got, okay, it was a big weekend. Alabama, was playing, and they're all with their fucking Alabama gear, talking about how the coach there is like, he walks on water or something. I don't give a fuck. Whatever his name is.
They're preachers.
Yeah.
They're as powerful as preachers. Down in that area.
And he's telling me, my brother's a state trooper, and he's on his detail, and they drive him around, and he eats babies, and just crazy.
And we all allow it.
Yeah. They'll allow. You could do anything. Right. If you're famous in Alabama, you're royalty.
Right.
Game of Thrones shit.
Right.
You can do whatever the fuck you want. So
Give you a dragon.
Yeah, give me the fuck. Where's the dragon? So this girl is one of the most awkward situations ever. So he's talking to me. Now all of a sudden she's looking at me and laughing because I'm saying funny shit, and he's not because he's fucking wasted.
Right.
So like I would say a joke, and then you would see your dead Thompson, and he'd be like, ha damn, hot damn, Cuban, just narrating his own demise.
Right.
Cuban. Hot damn, God, that was a good one, Cuban, right? And I'm like this, and the girl's laser focused on me. So he's like, oh, let's go outside and have a cigarette. So I'm like, all right. So he just bolts, but I'm still talking to his wife and stuff. His wife, she's wearing like a sweatshirt, but it's ripped, like in the front, like a Hulk Hogan style. I mean, look great.
I'm a real American.
Right, but it's ripped and like the cleavage is out.
Right. Freckles?
No, clean.
Okay, good. Whew.
And she looks at me dead in the face and just pulls it down right at the bar, just all the way down. Everything just
Not losing eye contact with you?
dead in
that?
my face. And it was so tight. We were so tight looking at each other. I'd like, excuse me. So just to look down and then to look up. I'm like, thank you very much. She's like, let's go have that cigarette.
Oh, my God.
God damn it, I love Alabama.
Alabama, man.
What a town.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's called Lower Alabama, Gulf Shores.
Right.
And the owner, he owns all the surf style stores. Mm-hmm. And he's originally from Florida. But like real Florida, not like Miami, like fucking, we'll set you on fire.
The redneck Florida.
All right, listen, we should wrap up this episode of the OpieRadio podcast. I think I might stay for another one, though, because we got a little visitor coming through.
Visitor coming through.
We could do another one from this locale.
Why not, right?
All right, so what do we got? We got the Facebook group, OpieRadio podcast, the Pod Squad.
Boo.
What else? I don't know, you could get a Ruizing t-shirt or hat at the website, OpieRadio.com. And Carl, what do you got? You got Sabor Chef on Instagram. Carl's Instagram game is strong. And then La Cubana is just about ready to open.
La Cubana's opening, man. Restaurant's opening and everything's opening and party's over. This is the wind down.
Right.
You saw me how I get in there. It's a different Carl.
I was happy, but I was also like, no one else wants to play with me with this podcast today. I'm going to have to make this one up, which was fine. All right. By the way, a little tease for the next episode. Can you explain the house that's pretty much burnt down across the street from our locale? No, I mean on the next podcast, on the next episode.
Oh, sure. What are you talking about?
I drove up and there's a house that's pretty much, it looked like it had a problem.
Do you know where you are? If you go on any street, there's a house that's burnt down.
Oh, you know which one?
Which one? The Miller's house? There's a house on fire here every 3 days.
Not the one across the street.
The fire department doesn't even shut the trucks off.
With the giant blue tarp on the
Oh,
whole thing.
yeah. He didn't make it.
They had a bit of an issue over there. All right.
Oh, my God. Wait till you tell you this story about these fucking idiots.
I can't wait. On the next OpieRadio podcast, Joey!
Yes.
Wrap it up.
Joey!
Time to switch to IPA.
Joey!
Greg, what the fuck?
I hear you, Joey. I'm just kidding. Actually, I don't hear you. You know you add this after the fact. Joey! Joey!
Come on.
All right, Joey, wrap it up.
Boo!
All right, I found a little quiet space on this ship. Now let me set the record straight on tape about mine and Carl's exchange on his Instagram. I called Tiger a POG, piece of garbage, and yes, because he disgraced himself and his family, but I was wrong, and I'll tell you why. I worked for ESPN for 11 years of my life in New York City and know a lot of inside baseball and other sports. Even hung out with a few pros in New York City and on getaways with listeners, but that'll stay private. I'm wrong to judge Tiger as a person. I guess for the same reason Gregg doesn't like Stephen A. Smith. We don't know each other. He seems pompous. And even though I have no love for golf and consider it a leisure activity rather than a sport, if I was to be fair and judge other athletes or even rock stars in the Hall of Fame for their personal indiscretions, I'd be rooting for imaginary players and musicians. So Carl, I wasn't driving, I didn't get in trouble with my wife, but I do on a daily basis, regardless. I had an impulsive reaction and it was wrong. And I'm no altar boy. And just for the record, while I'm being transparent, I worked with Stephen A. Smith more than a few times, and he was always easy to work with and generous on the air, a pro, as well as kind to me. We live and learn. So with that, I'm Joey Salvia, wishing I could have partaken in a bourbon breakfast with the two of you fine gentlemen. But I'm about to take my kids swimming and later date night with my wife while we sail the Caribbean. Now please leave a 5-star review at Apple Podcasts. And thanks for listening to OpieRadio. Fuck golf.